Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. It's great to see you here again. I feel like romper room when I say that. Anyway, some of you will get that. Um, Thank you for your practice and your support. Like, subscribe. Really helps to grow this sangha, this channel, and get more people who are seeking some answers out there for life and could find it through Buddhism. So by liking, subscribing, supporting this channel means a lot for our bodhisattva activity to include others, to help others locate these resources, yeah? So I was thinking this morning, go figure. And I thought that you and I, and there's a reason I'm saying it that way, because it's kind of funny. There is a need, I think, to explore an analogy. I'm going to call it the marble analogy. Just go with me here. Let's do this little mental exercise, this visualization, if you will. Most of you, many of you, maybe all of you, have heard this statement, I think, therefore I am. There's two I's in that statement. Now, you may not know much about Descartes or French linguistic philosophy, but let's just take it at face value. I think, therefore I am. How many times has that been quoted? Now, as a Buddhist, that's extremely problematic. And so I was thinking about that this morning, and I thought, it's the problem we talk about all the time. Shakyamuni identified this problem early on. It's this quintessential core of attachment that we talk about attachment. We talk about identification and ownership, but it's like we miss this fundamental, and when Shakyamuni expresses it, when Nichiren quotes it, we our eyes jiggle a little bit, and we go, I heard that, but move on. We really don't stay put on this quintessential thing that he says about losing the I, losing the me, losing the ego. We hold the ego as at a distance. That's something that I do or that you do, right? There's a distance between I am, I think, therefore I am, and I have an ego, like it's separate. But that's not what Shakyamuni's saying. Oh no. But man, how the hell are you going to talk about that, Sylvain? Well, I'm not sure, but here we go. So what I visualized in my brain, and I'm going to entreat you to do the same. I was on a walk a long time ago with my sister and a friend of hers, and we were looking at the stars in the sky. And I said, we're not altogether different from fish. Yeah, I've always thought like this in the abstract. But what I was talking about was hydrogen, oxygen, water, this fundamental particle of stuff in the universe. It's in everything, right? Hell, we're made of, depending on who you quote, 70%, 80%, some major percentage, more than half of our bodies is water. Okay, maybe so. Yeah, okay. Won't think about that too much. But what I said on that walk was, we walk this planet breathing in and out complex molecules constantly. But to us, it feels effortless. Breathe in air, breathe out air. Well, yeah, you can change the chemical composite of all that. I don't want to get into that nitty gritty. The analogy I was making was that, a fish moves through its medium of water, breathing water into its mouth through its gills constantly. It doesn't think I'm breathing water any more than you and I think we're breathing air, right? So I thought, what if you and I could conceptualize our I, our being, like a marble moving through liquid, clear, crystal clear liquid. You there with me? Man, I want to add something else to this, but I don't want to make it confusing. Let's go through this water thing right now. So I'm identifying the marble, the solid, shiny, hard marble, as the I. The I of I think, therefore I am. Which, the minute you do that, you think, whoa, how is I am different from I think? The fact that I am is why I think. So, seesaw, right? Interesting. We're already starting to take that apart, aren't we? So you and I, marbles floating through clear liquid. At some point, we have to come to terms with the fact that that clear liquid is going in and out of our solid, shiny, polished marble. So this solid, shining thing, the I, evidently it's quite permeable. Please stay with me here. So as marbles, you and I aren't quite as solid as we might instantiate every time we say I, or me, or you, or we. I'm making this indelible statement, marble-like, yet permeable. And the more we consider this thought, as Buddhists, we more and more become aware that our marble is actually constructed of many, many countless tiny little grains. So we're really the illusion of this hard, polished, hermetically sealed marble. It started falling apart a little bit because we breathed this crystal clear liquid. But, gosh, we're made mostly of that crystal clear liquid. Dang, this idea of the solidity of the I, it just keeps getting questioned and falling apart. And here comes the final blow. What if every one of those grains, and I'm not asking you to go down to atoms here, I'm keeping it simple. What if every one of those grains was sugar? Sugar. How long could we maintain this solid, shiny, polished, solid marble thinking about I before we just simply dissolve into this crystal clear liquid? What would remain of I? Sweetness? Sweetness. That's kind of nice. My I of sweetness is now dissolved and penetrating into everything and sweetening everything around this. Oops, marble's gone. Where am I now? Well, I am everywhere. It's kind of a silly statement. Everywhere is my sweetness. Oh, look, marbles, other marble. Oh, they're all dissolving too. And our sweetnesses are intermingling. But there's no Sylvain's sweetness. There's no Bob's sweetness. There's no Malika's sweetness. It's just sweetness. It's getting awful sweet in here. Do you see where I'm going with this? What if sweetness was Buddha-ness? What if when we chant Namu Myoho Renge Kyo and we expect Buddha-ness, what we're really doing is altering ourself, our I, into that sweetness, that Buddha-ness that's always been there. The instantiation of an I or a me or a you becomes kind of silly, really irrelevant. There's that ego. The ego is what wants to hang on to that I, me, you, them, we. I think I'm starting to get this. Yes? What if, as an exercise, another exercise, having gone through this mental exercise, we decide, okay, today, just today, not going to make this too permanent because that's a lot of effort. It's going to be effort enough to do something consistently today, but let's commit to today. Today, every time that inner voice that speaks to me just before I speak words out of my mouth, hopefully, I know, for me, sometimes stuff comes out of my mouth and only then does my inner voice go, I just said that. But most often, before we utter words, the thought forms in our mind and we think, I this, I that, I think, therefore I am. Shut up. You're amming all the time. What if we replaced, actively caught that thought before I said I this, or you this, or we whatever? Let's just catch the I. Let's keep it simple. I'm hungry. What if instead of saying I, we, in a word processing program, you can do a find and replace. What if every time your brain and your mind started conceiving of a statement beginning with I, we replaced it with there is? How would that affect our language? How would that affect the very way we form thought? There is hunger. Yes, there is. There is uncertainty. I think that's a load of crap. There is uncertainty. I don't believe that. There is uncertainty. There is doubt. There is conviction. I believe there is conviction. There is confidence. I could be talking about anyone, not just me. There is elocution. There is interlocution. There is conversation. There is consideration. There is fatigue. How would we speak with everything all the time? You see, this is a problem that quantum identifies, right? The measurement problem. We know there is, but when we identify what there is, we no longer know its life, its momentum. Right? It's like when we say the word everywhere. What we're really saying is in all points of time. Well, in all points of time, all possibility and potential exists. But when we identify it, we now have a where, but time, we've stopped time. But we know that's ridiculous because time and space are equal and they're constantly in momentum. So what if every time we considered I, me, you, we, these possessive identifying selves, we physically felt the dropping of an anchor, right? Because that's what we're doing. Every time we identify, we stop time. Well, time doesn't stop. So what are we doing? We're falling away. We're no longer being. We're identifying. How long would it take before that would become supremely annoying? But when we say there is ... we're in the flow, the momentum of this life. Not my life, not your life. I'm just proposing it as an exercise to identify, to recognize, to realize our Buddha-ness. A tool, a grammatical exercise, but a very potent one, I think. My lineage goes back to France, so maybe I'm just obsessed with language. But so is Shakyamuni. Not that I'm saying. I'm just identifying a way of thought, an exercise, a way into our mind of identification, possession, our warehouse, our database, and how truly that is the primary obstacle to our experience of life kinetically, in its momentum. We've got to sever the cords that are all those anchors we keep dropping. Stop it. Wow, there's almost a feeling of acceleration, isn't there? With all of those anchors being severed away from our experience of life, suddenly There's a sense of timelessness. Oh, wait, isn't that Buddha-ness? Time without beginning? The marble analogy. Sweetness. I think I like it. Not to be too saccharine. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being Buddhist. Thank you for your practice. Avail yourself of the resource here, right? Hundreds and hundreds of videos on every topic of Buddhism, even analogies. Keyword will get you a result set within this channel. You can find anything you're looking for. And if not, let me know. I'll make a video about it. The podcast you can listen to, of course, all the free information on threefoldlotus.com. I've assembled and written several books on lulu.com/Kuhn or Spotlight/Kuhn. I don't know why Spotlight, but that's the way it comes up. Mandala. Or use Patreon or PayPal. All kinds of ways to support the channel. All deeply, deeply appreciated, not just by me, but all of us, right? Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening and participating. Thank you mostly for your practice, your dedicated effort for sweetness. Bye for now. Mule.